We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, everybody's doing well tonight. Hopefully, everybody can hear me tonight. It looks like, yeah. All right. So, we'll wait for everybody to get in here. So let's see, today is Tuesday, October the 25th, in the year 2022. We are about 55 degrees here. We've had rain off and on all day and yesterday, which we greatly needed because we've been in a drought. So, but now the sun has come out, the rain has gone away, and the temperature has started to cool down. So that's kind of the weather here where I'm at in the United States. One of the amazing things that I've learned, hang on here, let's see who's knocking at the door. I think Mr. Yank is having connection issues. But let's see. You might try that again, Mr. Yank. All right, well, one thing I've learned in the last couple of days is it's hard to find a locksmith. You can't seem to find a locksmith anywhere. It took me 2 days and many visits until I finally found a real locksmith. Had to drive all over the country. I found one just to make a couple of simple keys that are not house keys. Because when you go to Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart, they can only make car keys and or house keys, not specialty little keys like stuff like this. So I found that to be an extreme pain in the butt over the last couple of days. And let me see if I can. Mr. Yank, I don't think you're connecting well. But I found that to be extremely difficult in finding a locksmith so that I can make a few little keys. I probably spent more in gas than it did to actually have the keys made when I found a locksmith. Because all of our old locksmiths are apparently out of business because they have these things, kiosks, in a lot of stores called minute keys. And that allows people to go in and simply make a key, a house key, or a car key, and even order digital or electronic car keys. So locksmiths don't seem to be the way they used to be. I was told that a lot of them go into the security business, but they don't have key cutting machines or capability anymore. That's what I found in the last couple of days. In order just to make a simple copy of a key. is a lot of issues with that. But let's see, what else we've been up to this week. Went trout fishing. Maybe some of you guys saw the video or the pictures on YouTube. Went and did some trout fishing. Hey Joe, how are you? How's the weather where you're at? Did you guys get a bunch of rain like we did, or did it miss you guys? So. But I did get to go trout fishing at the White River. That's in northern Arkansas. If anybody doesn't know, it is one of the top 10 trout fishing destinations in the nation. And went with a buddy bright and early on Saturday morning, and wasn't intending on bringing home any fish to my Filipino wife, but I'm a good guy, so and fishing was easy, so we both brought home our limits, which is 5 in Arkansas of any species, rainbow, brown, whatever you cutthroat, are the 3 main ones up there. So, but you can only bring 5 home total. So, but we did that, brought home some fish. Yep. And thank you, Yenny, for visiting and giving us a good thumbs up. There's Joe. Joe, we always appreciate you and the thumbs up. And Joe is saying hi. And of course, said hello here to me. So Joe, you doing all right? I think I just noticed on my phone that I missed a call from you. So I've been busy up until just a few minutes ago. Let me see if I can add Mr. Yank to the stream and see what happens here. Maybe we're having connection issues. So Joe got, some rain. Yeah, we got some really, really heavy rains. And on my way down the interstate this morning to get a key, to find a key, to have a key made at the only locksmith I can find in Northwest Arkansas, I saw lots of accidents on the road. The interstate was so flooded, it was raining so much. There was a lot of, funny thing was, there was a lot of luxury SUV cars smashed into the guardrails. Why, I don't know. But I just noticed that they were very nice, high-end, newer luxury cars that were smashed up. So, could just be one of those things. But, that's all right. Yeah, we got... I don't know how many inches, but I bet you we got 3 inches of rain. And we were in such a dry spell here that I know the good news was, Joe, we actually had some slow rain over the night, which really helped the ground versus just torrential rains, which causes flooding. So that was one of the good things for us. But now they're saying it's going to turn off and get cold, and we're going to get temps back down in the low 40s, upper 30s. So, and I think I saw, did Kentucky or somebody get snow the other day? So I think that's kind of early. I know those people that live way up north, like Mr. Yank and stuff, get snow early, but I think I saw it was snowing in Kentucky the other day. You got a short premiere at 6:45. Good. You doing a premiere in the video today? Great. Did you drop the link for your premiere? You can do that if you wish. So yeah, I should have a video premiere. It should be done by now. So short video on a new video that I just released at 5:30. So, but yeah, Joe, you can drop your link there, and we'll share it out over the course of the night. So, but yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it was just amazing. Only, and again, there's only like 6 accidents, but they all involved really nice cars or SUVs. So I found that kind of interesting. I don't know if it means anything, but it is kind of interesting that that happened that way. But let's see, what else we've been working on. So I've been doing some immigration stuff, studying about some of that, trying to get some more videos ready for you guys. I've been printing out some pictures, getting some files organized, man. And but the main thing has been running around trying to find a lousy key. I am shocked how hard it is to get a key made. All right, but it's done, Joe, right? You guys are done with rain? Passing through? And I mean, I went everywhere for a key. Walmart, 2 different Walmarts, which is a joke anyway. And then I went to Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware. They couldn't do it. They make keys, but they didn't have the right blank. And so finally, somebody said, hey, I think there's still one locksmith way over here. So I went and found him, and, in 5 minutes, he had all my keys made. But it was just, for $6. I spent more in gasoline than I did, in keys, trying to find a freaking locksmith in America. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those dying trades. We're going to be in trouble, guys and girls, if we don't get young people into skilled trades. So, Joe, here's your link to your premiere at 6. I think what tell me 6:45. Yep, 6:45. We'll keep that showing throughout the evening. What's your video going to be about, Joe? Which one is it? But yeah, it was just crazy. All right, Mr. Yank, understandable. If you get it worked out, let me know. Maybe the weather that came through, or maybe the gods aren't smiling upon you today, my friend. Number 5 and 6. Sun is out. Okay. So, Mr. Yank, how's the weather where you're at? Hopefully it's good. Ours, we've had a lot of rain the last 2 days, but it's definitely dried up or turned off. Not dry yet. And sun's out. Cool weather's coming in, they're saying. Joe says hello to the Yank, Mr. Yank, who's having connection issues. Joe is doing a video premiere himself in a little bit there. So, but yeah, I mean, I was really shocked that Lowe's told me they only keep house keys and car keys, and they have a kiosk that does car keys. And then Home Depot, the same way, they told me, oh no, we only keep a very few keys, because of these kiosks now are the thing. So Ace Hardware, they said they make keys, but they didn't have that blank. And I asked, I said, well, from August, the parade up there. Oh, that'd be cool. That's good. All right. And I talked to Ace Hardware, and I told him, I said, hey, what if I can go online and try to order some of these blanks, because it had a number on it, and would you cut the keys? And he's like, well, liability, and blah, blah, blah. And what if it didn't work? And I'm like, well, I would take that chance. And I have to say, I won't hold you responsible if the key blank doesn't work, But then some old guy I ran into said, yeah, I think there's still one way down in Weddington, way off of Weddington. He couldn't remember the name of it, but told me roughly where it was. Because when you Google locksmiths, there's really not any, not in my area. There are a few, but they don't exist. Check out the Rileys. How are you today, my friend? Are you still in Hawaii? I've dropped the StreamYard link if anybody wants to come up. So Joe Yank is saying back hi to Joe. And that's us, Philippine-American couple, the Philippine-American couple. So how are things in Hawaii? Are you in Thailand this week or Australia or Germany or where? Riley's are saying hello to J3, Joe there. I was telling them, and I don't know about in the Philippines how hard it is to find a locksmith, but man, it was a 2-day chore to find one in America. It just drove me crazy to make a simple little key like this. It took me 2 days to find a locksmith. That trade has gone away. They're not locksmithing anymore. They're security experts or camera experts, but they don't have key cutters. So, drove me a little crazy. Everywhere I went, sorry, sir, can't help you. I thought I was in the Philippines. Sorry, sir, can't help you. We no have. I'm like, thinking I was in the Philippines again for a minute. So it was like, you want to what? I was going to take the Yanks advice and start showing a picture. A key. I need a copy of a key. I even thought about getting hold of some friends at the college and have them make a 3D key for me because I got some friends that have 3D printers. So the Yanks having trouble with StreamYard tonight or a single. Eating. What are you eating? Check out the rallies. The questions was, where are you at? Are you in Hawaii, Australia, Germany? Back in the Philippines, Thailand this week? You jet set traveler. Yeah, Joe has issues too with his. Mr. Yank usually has pretty good reception. Something must be. He may need to reboot his phone or something. But yeah, it was just crazy. I mean, to find a key, to get a freaking key made. I mean, if you want a house key or one of these expensive car keys, that's fine. He's over in Hawaii. You know how much it costs to have a key like this made? Take a guess, anybody. How much does one of these car keys cost to have replaced or duplicated or made? It is one that has a chip in it, I guess. So how is Hawaii then? Check out the Rileys. Still sunny and warm and beautiful, unlike the cold, rainy 2 days Joe and I have had here in the grand old United States. But yeah, it's going to get chilly now. I don't know how low, but Wally World. Yeah, I went to 2 Wally Worlds. Besides getting really shitty service and bad attitudes from the workers who all hate being there because they hate working at Walmart, the answer was no, no, no. And their answer also is, well, we're not really doing keys much anymore because they've invested in those vending machines or those kiosks where you go and put your key in and it does it and spits it out for you. So Lowe's, everybody has those. I think they're called minute keys. and just didn't work for the key I had. They didn't have the blanks in those because they only do the most common keys. Always beautiful. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I take pride in my appearance. I take pride in my dress, my clothing. So I really appreciate you acknowledging how beautiful I am. I really do. Thank you. So, oh, you weren't meaning the weather, were you? I thought you were talking about me. So, but no, you don't have anything. So, but other than that, not a whole lot going on in the world. I don't I don't watch the news a whole lot. What's the news around y'all's part of the world? Anything? Anything we need to know about? Are we getting ready to go to war or get bombed, or anybody going to be attacking us soon that we don't know? Does anybody know what's going on in the Philippines here lately? I've been hearing that there's some rule changes again, some regulations changes again. And then I've talked to a few people the last couple of weeks that have had some banking issues in the Philippines. So, hate the news? Yeah, I don't watch the news, man. I don't even watch my local news. It's too depressing. It's too lopsided, It's just horrible. If it's not politics, it's the wokeness. It's it just seems like our world's come to a point where every group you're around hates something or someone or about somebody or something, and they can't just leave people alone. They feel like they got to mandate. Well, you don't have a dog. What are you talking about? And they go into heat. Yeah, I'm not even going to touch that one. I could say something, but I'm a polite young man, or I used to be. I should strive to be. But yeah, we don't watch the news much either. We watch, sports news a little bit, keeping up with favorite teams. But other than that, I'm telling them, I got to do some fishing this week finally. Caught some really nice rainbow trout. My wife and one of her friends fried them all up on Sunday and ate them. And fried them, baked them, and I don't know, made some other dish that had a lot of green vegetables in it, which, I am absolutely opposed to green vegetables. So I didn't eat that. So, but we went fishing. I left the wife at home. She didn't like that because I went with a friend and not her, but it was more enjoyable. And we had beautiful weather for it down in the White River in Arkansas. Nice, cool morning. By the time we left, there was 50 people on the river where we were trying to get where we were. So. Oh, is that dog talk getting you? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I don't think so. I don't know. My dogs, you don't want me to sick the girls after you. Let me tell you, if I tell them you're behaving badly, they'll go after you. But we got to do see here, I'll show you. I even had to get the free trout fishing guidebook and read up on the instructions or the rules so I make sure I didn't violate any laws and get arrested and go to jail for illegally harvesting fish. So, Very important if you go fishing in Arkansas that you know the rules. They're kind of strict. You know, when we were down in Florida, when we go down there, the really interesting thing is Florida residents do not have to pay for a fishing license. They have to register, but they don't actually pay for a fishing license. Here in Arkansas, we pay, I think, if you get a trout stamp and everything, it's $55. So I don't know what it is in Missouri anymore, or Hawaii for that matter. But in Florida, you don't pay. You just get an ID, a fishing license ID, for free through the state, and that's all you need. But there's no money involved. But as a visitor, you have to pay. You have to pay. Federal law overrides state law. This is very true. You know, the federal, it goes city, county, state, federal. That's what it goes in America. No license needed, really? I wonder how much freshwater fishing they have in Hawaii. Does anybody know? Let's say hi to John, everybody. John is watching from the fringes of society, which is California, by the way. John, you're welcome to come up if you like. John is going to say hi to Mr. Bill. I know they probably have to have a fishing license out in California. California, you got to have a license to breathe. So, you know. But, yeah, well, you know, that's the kind of the thing, you know, I thought about this, you know, when we're in the Philippines, you know, because I really don't get to fish when we're in the Philippines either because of the pollution or the drama or the traffic or the location. So I really didn't get to fish. And I always wonder with Hawaii how much fresh water they have. They have to have enough fresh water to drink, of course, you know. But I can't imagine there'd be a lot of freshwater fishing. He's making the money flying away. Is that what that indicates? Flying money? Or are you trying to indicate, you know, Bill told me how beautiful I was earlier, which I appreciate. All right, Mr. Yank, let me see if I can, I clicked on you, so let's see if your connection holds up, works. And we used to trout fish up in Missouri quite a bit, but I didn't get to do any real fishing in Cebu. Well, you know, pollution, and a lot of the areas were off limits to fishing. And when we were there, we still weren't allowed to travel very much. $1 bill. Yeah, Bill's the rich one. He's hanging out in Hawaii. He's probably going to go to Australia and hang out. Maybe go to Germany and vacation. He's just traveling the world. I do find it interesting, Bill and others, how many folks like ourselves who've been in the Philippines has had to leave to get their visas and stuff squared away now that the pandemic is kind of over and the borders have opened and life is getting back to normal. How many U.S. citizens and Australian citizens are doing some back and forth in. So I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, we were real disappointed. We were real disappointed, and I was really disappointed because when the typhoon hit us in the Philippines, of course, that just messed everything up. And so you know, didn't get to go out. Couldn't find anybody who even wanted to take the money that I was offering to take me way out fishing after the typhoon. A lot of the boats were damaged and tore up, so we didn't get to do any fishing. Hopefully, when we go back, that'll be priority. We will when we go back, we're going to spend time in Cebu again, but we'll probably go up to the property up in northern Cebu. What is that called? Bago, I think, Bogo is where we have property at now. So we'll probably go up there. Now that's more rural and there are beaches, so you can surf fish and probably get some fishing in there. But around the city, Mactan Island and Cebu, it was so filthy and dirty and restricted.
What's happening?
Not a lot. How are you?
Not too much. Enjoying. Just finished up my lunch.
What time is it in Hawaii?
It is 1:01 p.m.
All right. So you're just starting your midday.
Yeah, just after lunchtime.
So how are you enjoying Hawaii?
Hawaii is beautiful. As far as the place, it's gorgeous. It reminds me a lot of the Philippines. However, there's just a little more calmness to it, and the weather's not as hot. It's
And you have
nice though.
working plumbing. Yeah, the toilets work, water runs. You got electricity on a consistent
Yeah,
basis. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I had all that stuff still there in Mindanao, so
We had great troubles having consistency of anything in Cebu. So
yeah,
I mean, after the typhoon, it was a disaster
right.
for us. So, but how much longer are you going to hang out in Hawaii? A couple months, a year, two, three?
Uh, well, I sure hope it's no years to it, but we'll see. You just never know. Scotty B in the house.
Everybody say hello to Scotty B. Well, good, man. So what have you been doing while you're there, though? Just hanging out the house or what?
Um, some of that, some traveling, seeing the sights. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to go to the Arizona Memorial. The Halfsters and her husband is taking us to see that. We're getting the military um,
Tour?
tour, yeah. So it's a little different than the public one. So,
It is. It's behind the
so
scenes, if I remember right.
yeah, so that's what we're doing tomorrow. Can't wait. I've been there a few times, but never out to the. You got to get in the boat and go out to it.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm a World War II
Aficionado?
craze. Yeah, that's my jam. I like to study it and all that stuff. So they've already taken me to some places that the normal tourists don't get to see. So it's pretty awesome checking it out.
Well, that's cool. So, yeah, I've always wanted to go there also. We got to, when we go to, here in the States, we've been down to the USS Alabama and
Hmm.
the Dursk, the submarine, I think it's
Hmm.
the submarine. We've been to there a couple of times, but I've always wanted to go to the ones in Hawaii. And
Right.
down in southern Texas in Harlingen, we went to a replica of where the flag raising, even
Hmm.
they got a big monument in park. Why it's there, I don't know. Maybe one of the guys is from there.
Right.
So Arlington, Texas kind of stole it and, put it up and said, look at us. So,
Right.
but we've been to that, but I
Yeah.
think that'd be cool, man. So which
Yeah. Can't
part
wait.
of WW2 are you fascinated the most by?
Uh, I don't know. It's all very interesting. I've looked at all all the different fronts from the North Africa front to the, of
Europe,
course, the Europe,
Pacific.
you know, Philippines, just all of it. It's just fascinating. Japan. My wife will not let me when I'm with her in the Philippines. Really like set destinations to go see some of that stuff, and I've been to a couple places where there in Mindanao, like some of the places where the Japanese had set up some stuff and different things like that. But I never really seen like up there where MacArthur uh, came back. They got a big memorial there and different stuff like that. So I have not been to that stuff. My wife won't let me just. Okay, that's where we're going. So
Well, you need to make that a priority, but it is difficult for Philippines
yeah, yeah,
like to let us do things that we want to do.
right,
You know,
yeah.
but
My
that's
my
cool.
wife, she'll let me do it as long as if it's there. You know what I'm saying? But make a trip to go there just for that. Ah,
But
she's
that's
like,
what
there's
exploring is all about.
yeah. She's like, well, if we had stuff for the kids to do and stuff like that. But I'm sure I'll get to it as one of
Yeah.
these days.
Well,
We our our plans was to drive all over the Philippines.
Mhm.
Before stuff happened, and we actually had trips scheduled there to go to Cebu and all this stuff. And you know, when that all happened, and we were locked in, and everything changed up. Right?
Yeah, and I think it's going to take a couple more years before everything gets back to normal in the Philippines.
Yeah.
A lot of places are still wearing the mask and limited
Right.
travel and drama, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
it's
they're they do a lot of stuff, and I can't say that the states don't do it too. A lot of states, just like there, they do stuff ass backwards. Just because the national is doing it one way, don't mean that that province is doing it.
right,
It's just or like there in Davao, I just quit going to Davao, even though we have a house there. I was
right.
like, I'm not going to Davao anymore because they have you so locked down that what during that. I mean,
Yeah,
they like went above and beyond what everybody else was doing. It's like you know crazy,
and really, does it do? Did it wind up doing any good?
right? Nope.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think all the craziness and panicking did any good
No, I don't
overall.
think so either. It
Yeah,
didn't slow it down. It didn't do nothing.
yeah.
It was what it was, and
Well,
uh, taking rights away and scaring people is all their the
yeah.
agenda.
And we did
So
that in the U.S.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we probably should have waited another year and a half before we headed to the Philippines to let it
right,
all flush and wash out. 'Cause
right,
it would have been easier.
yeah,
That's for sure. Because it's currently, as getting in and out of the Philippines still is not easy.
right. I'm
How do you share?
hearing. Yeah, I haven't looked up the latest deals, until I start looking at flights to go back.
Right.
Then I'll start really looking at what the requirement is. But last I heard, you got to get a pass. You got to get,
They're still doing the
uh,
One Health Pass and all of that mess.
yeah, whatever that pass is, a health pass, whatever it is. But you can just do that and get in. Um, but I heard they're making the mask optional finally. They went to they went from wear it everywhere to wear it only when you're indoors to now it's supposed to be an optional situation. So
Well, I really liked it when they were making people wear the husband and wife wearing the mask in the car together.
yeah,
You know,
I told them to kiss the sunny side of my butt when they tried to tell me to put my mask on in the car with my wife. So
but you can go home and sleep with her. But
right,
in the car, you need to,
I said this is my private car. If I want to wear a mask in here, I will.
yeah.
There, if not, rest me. But I'm not wearing a mask while I'm driving around with
Scotty
the
wants
windows
to know
rolled
if
up.
it's legal to have live streams without Filipinas. Sure. It just doesn't seem to happen much around our community.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
but
I'm part Filipino,
there you
Scotty.
go. He's a
I've lived
Filipino.
there long enough that I'm changing.
For
It
the
just
good or
looks like I ate a couple Filipinos. That's what it looks like.
oh, that's funny. I was telling I caught a bunch of trout this weekend for my wife to,
I've seen that. Yeah.
and she's like, oh, you're gonna eat what? I'm like, no, it's for you, 'cause I don't like
Right.
not anything bad, but Filipinos lost my thing
Right. Right.
when it comes to trout. But made her happy at least for a few hours.
It's good.
Yeah,
I eat it. Shoot. I don't want to pick on the face or nothing or suck out the eyeballs like they be doing, but other than that, I eat it up.
yeah, I don't mind it. Trout, to be honest, and I tell this story. When I was a young man, my brothers and I were really poor, and we could catch trout really easily. We'd go up, there was no limits, and we'd catch a lot of trout. So we ate a lot of trout.
Right.
And I mean, a lot of trout, a lot of rice, a lot of beans because we were poor.
Right. Right.
Kind of had enough. That may have been 30 years ago, but I've still kind of had enough trout. So
I
that's
understand.
that's kind of my deal with but they're fun to catch. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it made it
I
all
actually, I don't know if you've seen any of my little videos, but I haven't put out a big video of it, but we went fishing here for tilapia at a fish farm, right? And they just give you a cane pole and a little bit of I don't know dough,
uh,
and you hook it in there and throw it out and catch you tilapia. You keep whatever you keep. They weigh up. You pay for. They either fry up for you or you take it home. And that was the best fishing trip I've had in so many years. I don't normally fish, right? I haven't fished since like teenage years. When I
uh,
had to start when I had to start buying licenses, I stopped fishing. You know, like what a license? What the shit is that? But
yeah,
I had a
yeah,
great time fishing.
yeah. I understand the license issue bothers me too, but
Yeah,
I look at the fact that it goes to conservation, and as a science guy, I'm
yeah.
all right with it.
Right.
But,
I mean, I understand it. I just didn't like to pay it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, well, like
It's
I
like
said,
I'm just going to go down and maybe have a couple beers and fish and listen to a little music and whatever. And you
cost you
know,
$55 to do it.
yeah, exactly. It's like that. That don't sound too relaxing. It
Yeah,
just
'cause I think that's what it is in Arkansas. With all your fishing license, about $50, I think,
yeah.
is what we pay. So it's a little pricey
I've
just to go
I've
out and
taken
enjoy the nature.
I took my kids fishing before. My older boys there in Indiana, but
Mhm.
I made sure I read the rules. As long as I wasn't the one casting and doing all the fishing, they could still fish, and I help them out, of course.
Yes,
So I would do that kind of fishing, but we weren't like catching anything big, some bluegills or something,
right.
just to have my kids know how to fish a little bit, right?
Yeah, that's good. No, we tried to go fishing a couple times in the Cebu area, but one of the ponds that you're talking about, saltwater, they're over by Liloan. It's called Papa Kitts.
Oh yeah.
They got, but it when we first got there, it was closed due to COVID. After the typhoon, it was closed due to the typhoon. So
Right. Just
never got to
closed. Right.
never got to
That
go.
it was actually a pretty good time. We had we have a family farm there in the Philippines, and that is one of the things we're considering to do at the family farm is to make a tilapia pond and let people fish it and all that kind of stuff. So they got one here, so I thought, well, let me try that out and see if I think it's fun, see if I think somebody will pay money to
To do
rent
it.
a pole, that kind of thing, and do it to it, right?
Yeah.
So
The question is, I mean, crazy white people like us will do it, but
yeah,
but will the locals do it? Because I don't
well,
think anything's sustainable if you're going to bank on just white guys like
right,
us. You
right. Yeah, we're where the farm is. We're not going to get very many the white tourists or whatever.
know,
So it will be tourists from like maybe Jinsan or maybe Davao will travel there, that kind of thing. Maybe CDO kind of. So it'd be people from the city that come out to the
yeah.
wild and want to do something wild.
Well, Lorelei, the wife had a uncle or a cousin who, when she was a little kid, who had a tilapia pond and was raising them to sell.
Yeah,
And I guess the problem was a typhoon came in and took it all.
right,
Took took the fish, took the water,
right.
you
Took
know,
it. Yeah,
took the pond away.
right,
They lost their inventory of tilapia,
right.
you know. So maybe you
Yeah,
got to be a little careful about that, I guess, maybe.
yeah, definitely.
But tilapia is good eating. I like tilapia. We
Yeah. I well, I eat it most of the time. What they call chicharron tilapia. They fry it up, make
hmm
it into the little like strips, and
yeah,
fry it.
yeah, yeah.
That's
We
that's
kind of do
typically
that.
how I eat it.
We kind of do that, and then I put it in like tortillas or taco shells here in America.
Yeah.
It makes a nice crunch
Right.
taco. Let's see, Mr. Yanks, I got your show on the big 50. Man, you're rich. 55-inch TV. Oh my gosh. I made it to the big time. Well, that's because Bill's on here.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Don't
look at
make don't make me go get my Santa hat on.
there. Yeah, it's almost Halloween next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, but Mr. Yanks rich, a 55-inch TV. Woohoo! My goodness.
There you go.
Man, those Americans, they know how to live. So,
Yeah,
but we eat a lot of tilapia. I like it. I like and we eat a lot of fish. One of the cool things for Lorelei when we're down in Florida, when we spend time down there, we love to fish, but you go to the fish store and buy the leftover fish, fishermen brought in and had freshly cleaned. So it's like having your fish butchered. So you take it
right,
to the butcher shop, you get your fillets, and you go home because Americans want the fillets.
right, right,
You can go there and buy the heads of the groupers and all these other fish that have all this extra meat in it, and
right,
that for pennies, and goes and takes it home, and she thinks she's in God's greatest place
right,
because you get these great big grouper heads for $1,
right,
and there's a
right,
lot of meat on them, and she's just
right.
it's a good little trick we figured out when we were in Florida
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
because I wasn't catching any giant groupers to take home to her down in Florida.
right,
We were only catching, little and little baby fish, but of course, you know how the Filipinos are. Any fish needs to go home and
right.
be eaten. But Where do you get these from? Well, I stole this one from Ronald. No. This one is a Levi hat. I think I got it at, I don't know, some store. I have no clue. The other ones are better brand, and I usually get those at hat specialty stores. But this one I think is like Target.
I bought had like that the Kango ones back
Kango.
in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some of those. Last ones I got of those, they got it in Vegas
Yeah.
at a really big hat store.
Yeah.
So, but I bought in hats all over the world. Every country we go to, I try to buy a hat if it's worth buying.
Right. Yeah. I like hats too, but most of them are baseball caps. That's kind of kind of my thing.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Yank, I aim to please. I aim to please. He says, some sore. That's great. Thank you. Yeah. I know. I'm real helpful. But, sometimes you can find these at Walmart, I guess. I don't really know where they came from.
You might be able to find them. Kohl's, something like that.
I think, I don't know. I'm sure we were shopping for the wife for stuff, and it was just, and knowing me, since it's not oh no, I do remember. It was actually a J.C. Penney. J.C. Penney, because they have a whole big Levi clothing department. Right. I got it at J.C. Penney on credit.
There you go.
Because I'm too. I hope that satisfies your curiosity, Mr. Yank. But
yeah,
I have all kinds of baseball hats, but I don't wear baseball hats.
Yeah,
we.
That's what I wear mostly. But they, my collection stopped a long time ago. I only took so many with me to the Philippines, and then I end up giving so many of them away, and then what I have left is like, just a few like this coats and stuff like that. And I've washed it so many times it don't even stay to form anymore. It's so it's so raggedy.
Yeah, I got to go that, and that's when I was wearing ball caps. When that would happen, I just switched to do rags and found it easier.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when I was teaching, why I don't wear ball caps is when I was doing my consulting work and my teaching, I like to wear hats, but ball caps was considered unprofessional. But I could walk in with a fedora or one of these, and I was professional. So,
yeah, I used to. I got. Well, there's probably still in Indiana there. I got Kango ball caps, and I had quite a collection. I had 2 or 3 of those, and so they still look. They matched what you were wearing, and wasn't a team or anything like that. So I thought they looked professional enough. Huh?
Yeah, just that's what I was
The
told.
man said, "Yeah, I understand."
Like racist, hat racist. What would that be? Hat bias or something?
Yeah.
Discriminating against hat. But
Your hat was probably black, so that's the first mistake.
black, yeah. Well, here's the funny thing. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually created the very first hat for the college I taught at.
Oh, really?
I did. I designed it myself.
Wow.
I still have it somewhere. Yep, sure did. It was a baseball cap, green. It was a community college that wasn't very old, and they were a student project. We were looking for something to raise funds with, and so I made ball caps and sold them to other students. That's before I became a faculty member many years ago. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Very
now
cool.
they have really cool ones, professionally designed.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we have a lot of ball caps out in the garage. Every time we go to a car dealership, I make them give me a hat. I don't ever wear them, So I got a stack of baseball cards about this thick, all stacked up, of different car dealerships and manufacturers.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah, but they're just out in the garage.
Yeah.
You know, I try to make them feel bad and make them give me something because I'm spending money there.
Right.
But you need to get you a nice Hawaiian shirt while you're in Hawaii.
Yeah. I've looked at a few, but I haven't. I don't do too much shopping, but I was at the Walmart and stuff like that, but I haven't seen anything to snatch up yet. I would like to find one at like the Goodwill or something like that. Something that's not crisp and new. Something that don't make me look like a tourist.
Something a little vintage.
Right.
Yeah, the
Something a
fun
little older.
real vintage Hawaiian shirts from the 50s and 60s can be worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Right.
I mean, they resell. Even there's a
Right.
couple of them out there that sell for over $1,000 if you can find them. But I agree with
Yeah.
you. Good helping hand.
I heard about that stuff, and I know people are out there looking for that type of stuff. I had there in the Philippines, I had a couple shirts that I would wear to the beach, Hawaiian style or whatever. Not really Hawaiian shirts, but one of them I bought when I was down in Haiti, and one of them was just a Cole special. So, but I got one of them with me, but I tried to put it on the other day, and it just don't button too good anymore for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
I think I'm having that problem too.
Right. I would definitely have to wear it open. And I didn't have any t-shirts or anything to put under it, so I haven't broken it out yet.
But when I was riding motorcycles back, when I was healthy, this is how I rode motorcycles in a
Right.
t-shirt and Hawaiian shirt with it open. So that's
Right.
how
There you
that
go.
was my motorcycle get up,
Right.
versus doing all the Harley crap,
Right.
So, but I like them. We got some relatives that just moved to the Philippines from Germany, and before he went there, I mailed him. He's an older guy, a couple of Hawaiian shirts and a couple of very good sweatshirts. I mean, not sweatshirts, but temperature shirts for the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the regular
The
new
yeah.
material that's supposed to dry really quick and be very
Yeah.
airy. And when he got him, he's like, "I don't think this would be any good in the Philippines." And I told him, I said, "Just wait and wear it on a hot day, which is every day,
Right.
but wear it, and you're going to really appreciate
Yeah.
those new."
That's what I tell everybody that's going to the Philippines. Dry fit is what I think is.
Yeah.
I think Nike calls it dry fit, but anyways, dry fit is what you want. So because you'll be sweating so bad, you don't want to look like a wet dog. Just get you a dry fit shirts.
Exactly. I mean, I think I tell the funny little story that, my brother used to FaceTime me and he would ask if it's raining, all the time. And I'm like, no, and he's like, well, you're soaking wet. And I said, yeah, but it ain't
Right.
raining.
Right. Yeah.
No, no rain today.
Right. That's what a lot of people will ask me. Well, shouldn't you just get a scooter and ride that around there? I was like, if I want to go places and look like I just came out of the rain shower, then I'd ride a scooter around in the Philippines. But other than that, I got to get in the car with some aircon and go someplace so I don't have to take a shower wherever I get to.
I agree. I mean, because, getting in and out of the car, from the car to the mall, even, you know,
Yeah,
and how far you got to walk, and
right,
that's what I told the wife, said, look, we can afford it. We'll just take taxis. We don't need to ride
right,
a hobble hobble. Plus, I'm so fat and big, getting in the hobble hobble is not the easiest thing to do,
right,
So, and she would go out and do something and come back, and say, oh, those hobble hobbles. And I kept telling her, I don't know why you ride them. you to take a taxi home, but
Right.
you're the one who keeps getting in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we
I,
are,
I mean, if I didn't sweat like I did, I wouldn't mind riding around in that stuff. I try to get in a tricycle occasionally and ride it. Maybe like we were at a festival and I couldn't find a parking spot, so I went back home, parked my car, and just called a tricycle and went.
Mhm.
Like, forget it. So I don't have to worry about parking.
Yeah, but walking around the festival, you're just going to be woohoo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but
But it was at night when I was trying to go there. They had bands and, that kind of stuff. So,
and nighttime is not horrible,
right.
especially,
Right.
for me, where we were, we didn't, believe it or not, we didn't get any breeze in our house. The way it was orientated, the way the houses were laid out,
Yeah.
we had no fresh air. But if you could go out and get the fresh air, the movement, it's not that bad.
Right. That is something that I tell H2H about every day. Probably I talk to him about his house. The way his house is lined up like perfect for this breeze that blows through here. You can leave the garage door open and it will cool the whole house down. And have the back patio open,
Yep.
and it just comes through. Feels so good. It's like a
And
perfect breeze catcher.
that's what you want. And we did that with this house in the United States when we had it designed and built. Where I had it orientated to the correct position here so that we're off center of south a little bit and we don't get any direct sun. So we
Right.
use the sun to our benefit, but we also get the prevailing southern winds to come through the house. And you
Right.
can air this house out in 2 minutes.
Right.
And, so we did the same thing here.
Right. So when she cooks dry fish in the house, you just pop open the.
Well, we had an external exhaust vent built in,
Oh, that's good.
so you just hit the button.
Yeah. Yeah.
They,
After the first time my wife did that in America, there in Indiana, in the middle of winter, we didn't do that no more. We laid down some laws.
yes,
There'll be no more cooking that in the house. So
yeah,
that's
we
an
did,
outdoor kind of thing.
yeah, that's what we did in our other house in the States, and we did in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So yes, but this house, I had it set up to where a big, powerful exhaust vent. And
Right.
she did stinky fish this weekend and used it, and it worked really well. Now, I mean, it worked really well, but I did light a candle afterwards,
Right. Right.
and just to make sure the house was aired out this morning. So,
Right. Very good.
or yesterday afternoon, whatever it was. What did it say? Tuesday, Monday? She cooked it on Sunday, so I aired the house out Monday.
Very good.
So you're getting old when you can't remember what day of the week it is.
I've been old for a long time then.
uh, bad thing is we only get older.
Yeah. Well, I think since I moved to the Philippines, that's when I started not remembering what day of the week it is anymore. I had to try to figure out when I could call somebody back home, and you know. But luckily, 12 or 13 hour time difference. I just couldn't remember what day of the week were they at work, or
Right.
I had to go look that up.
But it works overall. It's not too difficult.
Yeah,
We didn't find it difficult to get. Well, we found it extremely difficult because we didn't have any electricity or internet for months.
yeah,
But
that was the hard part, right?
yeah, but when it did work, I was able to use Facebook Messenger,
Right,
um, and be able to reach out pretty easily, and that worked really well. I'm going to get
Yeah.
going, Mr. David and panel. I will see you on Friday night. Okay. So Mr. Yank does his on Friday nights about 5:30 Central, 5 o'clock Central Time, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So
Sound good.
he does a live stream too. So, but yeah, we didn't have much problem when everything worked getting
Yeah.
hold of people back here.
You know, my wife has been laughing at me here recently because my I have my Philippine cell phone here, and it's just hooked to the router. The internet. But when I come out here in the garage, sometimes it's a weaker signal. I lose the signal or whatever. And she laughs at me because like, my internet's better than yours in America. Like, yeah, it is. It's just I'm hooked up to the router in the house, and I'm all the way out the edge of the garage here. So it's a
I
different.
know. I had to hear that crap when we got back to the States.
Yeah,
We had internet issues it took us 6 weeks to get internet turned on into this new house.
right,
So the house was completed, but the infrastructure took 6 more weeks to get to the house.
right,
I had to hear every day, well, in the Philippines, we didn't have any brown.
right.
Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay. So, but now
Yeah,
we're,
where I lived at in Indiana, I had to have the internet, the cable line, and everything ran to my house. So I had to pay quite a bit to get it ran to me because I didn't live in the neighborhood.
right.
So,
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
we,
We
we
got,
did without it for a while. I was bumming. It was either my phone internet with a hotspot or my neighbors or something like that. I
yeah,
lived outside of a neighborhood, but I didn't live in a neighborhood that just had the easy hookup, right?
right. And one of the cool things that's going on now is like Verizon and those, they have internet right off of the magical airwaves on your phone, and you
Right.
know, and you can have it at your house. And it's once it gets
Oh,
to
I
our
got something
neighborhood,
going
it's
on
not
with my
very
phone.
good
Actually, it is acting up on me here.
because you're old. But there it's supposed to cut your internet bill way down here in the future. So they're saying here that the way Verizon and these cell phone companies are going to be doing internet in the future should cut the bill about half.
I'm losing you here. I'm something's going on with my phone or something. I don't know if it needs to be recharged or something, but I've lost sound, so I can't hear what you're saying. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop down, try to figure out what's going on.
All right,
I
enjoy.
don't even know if you can hear me, but you at
I
least
can
see
hear
me
you.
waving, right?
I can hear you.
All right, bye for now.
All right, man. Take care. Bill from Hawaii. Must be nice to get to go to Hawaii. One of these days, it's kind of on the short bucket list. It's kind of like for us, going to Alaska would be a really cool thing to do. I'm just not. It's kind of like what they talk about with Alaska is the views are outstanding and great to see, but once you've kind of seen them and been there, you kind of been there, done that. And I got a feeling, Hawaii is a lot of the same thing. When you've been to tropical countries and seen a lot of beautiful beaches, well, then how many more beautiful beaches do you get to see? Or, how many more times are you wowed and fascinated? I was telling somebody the other day that I would really like to go back out to the Grand Canyon because I was so fascinated and amazed by how the beauty of the Grand Canyon. But I just wonder if I will be disappointed if I go back out. Oh, yes. There's your James Robinson. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. We did not. She didn't pick enough apples to make an apple pie. So she only picked like 3 apples, or only brought 3 apples back home. So no apple pie. But I'm actually really good at making pies. So if she would have brought enough, I would have made her one. But she doesn't like apple pies. So maybe that's why she didn't bring them. You see, James, that's how this works. I could have made a really good, delicious apple pie with the apples that she got, but she doesn't like apple pie. Well, the other day I went fishing. If you saw the video, the pictures, and brought her back 5 beautiful rainbow trout. Even though I don't eat rainbow trout very much. So no apple pie. But she did have fun with a couple of friends going up there, looking through the orchards and the gourds, and they had the pig races going on up there. I can't remember exactly where they went, but I think it was somewhere across the border up into Missouri. So where they went, but they had a good time picking apples and having fun. Maybe they drank some apple cider. I don't know what all they did up there, but she seemed to have a good time. So how are you doing, James? How are things in your world? Anything exciting happening? So that's one of the questions I propose is how many beautiful beaches can you see before the beautiful beaches all look the same? If we go back out to the Grand Canyon, since I was so amazed by the beauty of the Grand Canyon, is it still going to be so beautiful and outstanding, or are you just going to kind of get used to it? We've traveled a lot. It's kind of like the Philippines. The Philippines is beautiful in places. A lot of places it looks like a garbage dump, but there's a lot of places that are beautiful. But they all kind of look the same. If you go to Tahiti, Jamaica, all these other places, don't they all just kind of look like the same? Same thing with places in America. Our little neck of the woods here looks pretty much like any other neck of the woods there is throughout the United States. So for me, I told my friend, I'm like, man, I'd really like to go back and spend more time in the Grand Canyon. I just don't know if it's still going to be as amazing. But if we do that, we'll go to a different part of the Grand Canyon and do a different activity. So therefore, I will still get that euphoric feeling of, wow, this is really great and really cool. Because I think that's what you have to do. If you do a lot of cruise ships like we do, if you do a lot of traveling, you have to mix things up. I think you just can't repeat the same over activities and the same over and over and expecting a different experience or different feelings. So I do think that you got to work on that. It's like when we do the cruises, we pick excursions that we haven't done. Since we've swam with dolphins, we're not going to swim with dolphins again, maybe until we get really, really bored and that sounds good again. But since we've already done that, there's no reason to do that. If you've gone horseback riding on beaches a bunch of times, well, you've done that, been there, done that, and maybe it's better to, find a new activity, go ATV riding, do anything like that. In the Vegas area, what a lot of people don't know about Vegas, and I'm not an expert, but if you get away from the strip, get away from the casinos, there's all kinds of activities that you can do. Caving, rock climbing, riding four-wheelers in the desert, using heavy equipment. You can go to these places where you pay money and they let you get on bulldozers and tractors and backhoes and dig up things, for fun. So you can tear up the earth if you want out in Vegas. All kinds of bus trips that you can do. You can go out to the dam, Lake Mead. I wonder if Lake Mead is, I guess it's still there. The water is just really low. So there's all kinds of really cool activities that you can do off of the strip, out and about. So I know a lot of people get hung up on thinking, oh, we're going to go to Vegas, just hang out on the strip, go gambling or drinking and partying. But the key would be to to go do other things. They have a lot of concerts, like out in the desert venues that you can go to. We know some people that just went to a Hall and Oates concert out there and had a fantastic time. They rented a car and drove out about an hour away to a Hall and Oates concert somewhere. So it's kind of cool. And then, of course, if you're ever in Vegas, Chicago, Los Angeles, and other places, there's a really cool store. What is it called? Seafood World? I think it's what it's called. Inside that Seafood World, yes, they have all kinds of fresh seafood, but they also have like a Jollibee's, a Chow King, some of those other little Asian style mom and pop restaurants there in that store, which is really good. All right, James says, what compares to the Grand Canyon or turns the Grand Canyon? So Canyon Islands National Park in Utah, Bryce National Park, Utah. Yeah, the Black Canyon and Gungeon National Park in Colorado. Yeah, I'd really like to go see Utah. I've been through Utah once years ago. But yeah, I definitely would like to go through Utah and spend some time there. Because we were really, I went out to Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico as a kid, and I've always dreamed of getting to go back to that. And when we drove back from Los Angeles, California, when we landed back in the States a year ago or whenever it was, we drove, and it was just so nice and pretty and different to go through Arizona and New Mexico to see all the different landscaping, all the rock formations. So I do think they got a Grand Canyon type in Pennsylvania. I didn't know that. I'll have to Google that. I don't really care for been to Pennsylvania, and they got a canyon mine, okay, the copper mine, all right. The Yellowstone Grand Canyon. I think as a kid, we went up to Old Faithful, but as an adult, I haven't seen it, but I've been told it's so crowded. Yellowstone National Park is so crowded with people that it's really hard to enjoy that park anymore. Maybe they need to figure out how to, put a limited number of people and give passes for the year or auction them off or whatever, kind of like when you do elk hunting, where you got to get a ticket, or I don't know, maybe they need to do something. But I know I read a lot about that, about Yellowstone is just so overcrowded, so. But I like the nature stuff, James. The wife would probably prefer New York City and shopping. I prefer the nature stuff and the quiet stuff. Lake Havasu, is that big party lake. Remember, I know about Lake Havasu a little bit. So, yeah, we don't know where our next vacation's going. We've been thinking about doing another cruise, of course. I've been working on that a lot. Done a couple videos about cruising. So we'll probably do another cruise first, and then I know the wife was yakking about the Philippines again the other day, getting back there. So we'll see about that. And I know she'd really like to go to New York, and I'd like to see. I forgot what it's called up in New York. What is it? The waterfalls, Niagara Falls. I don't know if Niagara Falls is impressive as they say it is in person, but I think it'd be really cool to go see it. So, that's one of the things up northeast that I would like to see. For the most part, there's not a whole lot of things in the northeast of the country that I have a lot of interest in. I wouldn't mind going to Norway and places like that. We've looked at doing a cruise through the Scandinavian countries, which we might do someday, just depending. But of course, we'd still like to go to Australia, Thailand, Japan. Japan's kind of high on my list. I think it'd be really cool to see Japan and Thailand. We bounced around quite a bit in the Philippines, all over the island of Cebu and stuff. So, we kind of been there, done that on the touristy stuff in the Philippines. I'm sure there's other places there that we could go see, and here in the United States, there's, besides the Northwest, there's just not a whole lot of places we really haven't been. I enjoy the Gulf Coast of America because I love to fish so much, but it all looks the same. It's pretty much all the same. And, but we'll figure out somewhere to go. We'll check out the West a little bit more, Arizona, Nevada, Utah. Maybe that'd be a short destination for us to go to. I don't know. We'll have to just kind of play it by ear and see, James. Been out to California. I'm sure there's a lot of beautiful things to see out there that I didn't see, but went down Highway 1 in California, went to a wedding out there overlooking the ocean on some big outlook overlooking the ocean. I went to some people's wedding. That was kind of cool, driving down Highway 1 or Pacifico. I guess it's the same thing, Pacific Coast Highway, Highway 1. And that was nice. That was fun to do. All right, guys, it's about time for me to get off of here. You can see that the dog is wanting attention. So I don't know what her deal is tonight. But appreciate everybody being here. You guys enjoy your week. And you can come back and join us on Friday night. Mr. Yank will be having his live stream. J3 is doing a video release right now, or a little bit ago, about 10 minutes ago. So we will see you guys next week, next Tuesday at 5:30. All right, everybody. Take care. See ya.